Welcome back to Crypto Win Rate. Today, we are going to be doing an in-depth guide on how to trade perpetuals on Hyperliquid. Now, I am assuming you already know how to deposit funds into Hyperliquid, but if you don't, we have a video breaking that down. I'm just going to put the link in the description so you can check it out. Before we start trading, let's get familiar with the fees on Hyperliquid. Even though Hyperliquid is on-chain, there are no gas fees. The two fees we have to know about are trading fees and funding fees. Now to see the trading fees, we just have to go to More, press Docs, alright, and go to Trading, Fees, and we can see the perp fees right here. So there are different fee tiers depending on your weighted 14-day volume, alright, so keep that in mind. And now we have the maker and the taker fees. So the maker fees refer to your limit orders and the taker fees refer to your market order. So when you are placing an order, if you place a market order, you will be paying this taker fee, and if you place a limit order, you will be paying this maker fee. We actually have a nice 4% trading fee discount for our viewers. So if you do want to start trading on Hyperliquid today, you can just scroll down to the description and click the link, and it will take you to this page right here. Okay? And all you have to do is press join with code start trading, and it will set you up, and your discount will automatically be applied to your future trading fees. Now that we understand the trading fees with Hyperliquid, the second thing we need to know is what the funding rate is. Okay? So a funding rate is a small payment made between traders, not the exchange. It helps balance out spot and future prices. So if more people are long, then they will usually pay a fee to short traders. This is a positive funding rate, which is what it is right now. Now, if more people are short, then shorts pay longs, and that's a negative funding rate. So if this had a minus beside it, that would be a negative funding rate. Now on Hyperliquid, the funding rate is every hour. Most perpetual exchanges have an 8-hour funding rate, so keep that in mind. If we do want to know more about the funding rate, we can just go to More and go to Funding Comparison. Okay, so we have different cryptos here that we can go through to check their rates. Okay, we can also compare Hyperliquid with Binance and Bybit, and then we can also toggle the funding rate by annualized, hourly, 8-hour, day, and week. Now that we understand how the fees work on Hyperliquid, the next thing to do is get familiar with the interface. First, let's check out the bar on the top left, right here. If we click here, we can see all the different cryptos that you can trade via perps. There are over 170 plus different cryptos that you can trade with on Hyperliquid. Anything from BTC at 40x to something like Trump coin at 10x or ordinals at 5x. There are so many different options that you could choose from on Hyperliquid. But we're going to keep it nice and simple here. And for our video example, we're just going to stick with BTC here. All right. So now we can just go up here and look at this bar. We just have the mark, the oracle price, 24-hour change, the 24-hour volume, the open interest, so the total outstanding position of all users on this contract, and the funding and countdown, which we already went over. We can also check out this graph section here, okay? Since this is a video mainly on perps, we're not going to go too into the graph section, but here it has many different features that are similar to something like TradingView, okay? You can toggle between hour, 5 minutes, week, okay? You can go through here, 8-hour on the time frame, okay? There are different indicators that you can choose from, all right? And there are all these different trading tools on the left-hand side. Again, I'm not going to get too in-depth, but if you are someone who does like to use charts for trading, Hyperliquid is more than capable of keeping up with your needs. Next, we are going to look at the order book. These are all the limit orders that are going through, the longs and the shorts. Although Hyperliquid is on-chain, traders place buy and sell orders directly on-chain, mimicking centralized exchanges. This has a lot better price execution than a typical on-chain perp exchange that will use the AMM model. And as well here, if you click trades, you can see all the trades that are going through in real time. Now we're almost ready to execute our trade, but before that, we want to understand all the different options that we have when we are trading perpetuals. So let's go up here, all right, and let's click on isolated. So you can either choose isolated or cross. Now what this means is if you are using cross margin, it uses your entire account balance to keep your position open. It pulls from your available funds to avoid liquidation. So in a nutshell, it's higher risk, but more protection, right? So if your whole account gets liquidated, you'll lose all of that, but you have more funds available across your different positions to manage that liquidation risk. And now if you use isolated margin only uses the margin for that specific trade. If it gets liquidated, only that amount is lost. It's safer for managing risk, but offers less cushion. So I hope that gives you a good idea of the difference between cross and isolated margin. Now here we have our leverage, okay? So we can go anywhere from 40x BTC all the way to 2. Again, it's going to be different depending on the crypto that you are trading. So here we're just going to open up a 5x leverage position. Okay, we're going to confirm that. And if you click one way, this just means on Hyperliquid, you could only trade one way. So if you're trading BTC, you could only open up one position at a time, either short or long. You cannot open up two different positions together on the same token. Now let's explore the different trading options we have. So with perpetuals, you can either do long or short. All right, but let's go look at the different ways we can create these positions. So first is market. All right, so I have 9 USDC. We can either use it in BTC terms or USDC terms. So we're just going to use USD. So put my 9 in here, and then we can choose the size we want. Okay, and since I'm at 5x, the 100% is my 9 margin times that 5x, all right, with a little fee here. That's why it's 45. So that would be market. Now remember, when we do market, we are paying the taker fees. So the fees are a little bit more. We could also do a limit purchase, all right? Here, we can decide when we want to enter the market. So here we see Bitcoin trading at 105,973. I can set my limit purchase at 105,800. So once it hits that price, the order will execute. And again here, I can move it up or down depending on how much of my margin I want to use. Now we are going to go ahead and execute a market order. All right, so we see our position size with that 5x. We are going to put in a long. Now before we do that, we see these two options here, reduce only and take profit stop loss. I'm going to go over reduce only after. So now let's just go through take profit and stop loss. So using this option, it's a way for you to put a stop loss and a take profit option within your trade. So let's say I'm happy with a 50% gain, okay? So what's going to happen once I put this in is once Bitcoin hits 116,000, I will be sold out of my position because we do have this 5x, right? So although Bitcoin's only at 116,000, my 5x position will get me to that 50% gain. We can also put a stop loss in, okay? So instead of waiting for Bitcoin's price to fall to 85,420, I'm only okay with a 30% loss, all right? So now we have a way to take profit and we are protecting ourselves from major losses. All right, so this is what our full order looks like. Let's go ahead and place this order. All right, our order was filled and we can see here our position. So this was our market order that we put in, okay? Our 5x, the size, position value, our entry price, the P&L. So, you know, maybe in a couple minutes, it'll say if we're up or if we are down. This is the liquidation price, our margin, and then funding. All right, we'll be charged in 43 minutes at this price. And yeah, so this is what the order looks like. And we can see here, we have our two open orders that we put within that take profit and stop loss. So this is what these two are, and they will both only be executed once either of these prices are hit. All right, and we can also see trading history, funding history, and our order history down here. So that is how we place an order. Next thing I'm going to do is show you how to close an order. So we could just do a simple close. We can close all at market or limit. All right, we can choose the percentage and the limit price we could sell at, as well for market, the same thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to sell short, okay, and I'm going to press reduce only. So what reduce only is, it's a way for you to sell off portions of your position at certain price points. All right, so we can see here at 100%, it would sell my whole position. Okay, I don't want that. I only want to sell, let's say, 11%. Okay, so this is the size it's going to sell. And we're going to make sure also we're in limit. That was my fault. Okay, so now we're in limit. We have 11% that we're going to sell. And I'm going to say I want to sell this 11% at 108,000. Okay, and we can place that order. And once that order is placed, it will again be in the open order section. And that 11% will be sold when we hit that 108 price point. We could also do this on the opposite end where we can reduce our losses. So if we don't want to have full exposure as the price goes down, we could also sell off a percentage of our holdings. So yeah, that is another way that you can close some of your order. But right now we are just going to close this order so I can show you. We're going to do a market close. Okay, we're going to close 100% of this order. Okay, and the order has been filled down here. This is our balance. So we lost 3 cents on that trade. What a terrible trade. So yeah, that was my in-depth guide on using Hyperliquid perpetuals. If you did like this video, you can always like and subscribe to Crypto Win Rate. You can also check out our website at cryptowinrate.com, where we have tons of crypto content and lots of educational guides that you can sift through. Lastly, if you do want to get started trading on Hyperliquid today, you can always just scroll down to the description and click that link, and you'll be able to get 4% off all of your trading fees. I appreciate it, and bye for now.